Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm trading the ES futures on a 2000 tick chart with a 21 EMA. So I've got the overnight high up here and the overnight low down here. These are our key levels for the day. And I started trading at 8 Central Time, which is this area right here, just before we pushed on lower there. And so we have this downtrend here and we have this two-legged break, which is very typical. When a downtrend gets a break, you can expect prices to attempt a new low. You'll often get a two-legged break. Notice this is a measured move to the tick. As soon as it was met, it immediately started pushing down. Now we can see after this two-legged break here, we do have a couple attempts lower. Like we can see the push down here, the break from that, and the second push down. But it is also very choppy and in this range. And we can expect a couple of larger attempts at a new low. So after we push out of this range right here and just get this sharp move down, this is really the first attempt at a new low. So the way I view it here, because like I always say, price action levels get bigger as more time goes on, even though, yeah, you do have two attempts down right there. On an even smaller picture, you get two attempts down just in this area here. You notice from here, first entry long, second entry long. But price action levels get bigger as more time goes on. Really, what it is after this downtrend, you get the two-legged break, and then this is your first attempt at a new low right here. And so what I was thinking is we could get in on the second attempt at a new low. We would just need the correction to hold on the EMA. This would be a good place to look for a short, but we just don't get an entry. We pushed right on through that EMA, no way to get an entry. And so this is basically a failure. So downtrend has a break, two-legged break. We attempt a new low, and instead of holding and making a second leg, we just push on out, make a new high. So this is a failure to make a new low. And so at this point here, when we get that failure, like I said, price action levels get bigger as more time goes on. You can eventually see as that failure formed, you can extend these legs here. So let me just put those out there. Now, obviously, it's not measured, but you can still clearly see it after that break, after this downtrend break here. You have this leg up, break, second leg up. So it's important to understand that, you have to be kind of dynamic with adjusting your price action levels, adjusting these arrows, these measured move levels, because, just like this is one leg down here on a smaller picture, you can clearly see that there's two legs in there, but it's still one leg down on a bigger picture. And, just like you had that two-legged break there, as more price action forms, since it didn't push down to a new low, it could have easily pushed down to a new low from here. But since it didn't and it had a failure, caused a second leg here, clearly correlating with this leg here, you just combine these two legs there, it's still clearly one leg. It's still pretty steep. So I hope that's clear. Now we push on lower here. So first leg down, two-legged break. We start getting that second leg down, very sharp move down. This would be another place to look for a short. If we had actually pushed below the EMA and then actually, held on it, had a correction, ideally a two-legged correction. That way from here we could get a failed second entry while expecting to make a second leg down. That would be a great looking short, but it just doesn't set up here. So we push on lower here. We're forming some support right here. We make this double bottom, which is, correlates over here. So this is really a triple test. And triple tests, they often lead to strong moves. But at the beginning here, I did not want to enter. I certainly didn't want to enter down here because it's right into that, down EMA. It's very sharp push down. And, we still have this measured move in play. So I wasn't wanting to enter into all of that. And then even up here, it's still entering right into this congestion highs. Clearly there's some kind of resistance here. And considering that big measured move down we have, I just didn't want to enter right into that. But we do push strong on out. And so that's kind of confirming this level here, that it's a strong level. We're playing the range. We're just moving to the other side. This down measured move is not working out. Apparently this up measured move is stronger. And so, and that's shown by the way we just burst on out there. So this is a limit order trade. This blue circle is where it pulled back here onto the limit order. But I just wanted to show this here. Even though this downtrend right here has a break, new low, it has a very strong reaction. It doesn't need to be measured from here because once again you have these bigger legs down. So downtrend, two-legged break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, very strong failure, rush back above. And once again, I did not like it while it was entering into this chop right here. I waited for a stronger push out, but of course a limit order was needed. It was getting very big at this point. you would have had to push it past here. If you had entered all the way up here, you would have had to push your target all the way past here. And, if you have resistance down here, it's likely that the high is going to match with that resistance, and that's what happens here. So we're forming this range. Now we push on up here, we make a double top, we push on lower here. It's really just kind of looking a lot more like a range now. It's getting pretty clear. We push on lower here. We could look for a short here, but we don't get a failed second entry or anything clear that's holding below the EMA. So we push on down, push back up. Now we don't reach the other end of this channel here, but I do want to show that when we bounce here, we have this trend line working up. So now we have 3 bounces off this trend line, but the highs are sideways. So this is forming a wedge, and we push up off of it. Say you have this trend line here, and you knew that you were getting your third bounce. You still don't want to enter right into that, but because it's a very sharp move down. You would want to see 2 legs down closing out, not just one sharp leg down. And so anyway, we push on up here. It gets choppy. This would be a good place to look for a failed second entry to go long, but unfortunately it just gets very, very choppy with no clear entries. And then after we push lower here, of course we can see this trend line here. So with this, after we make this double bottom, technically it would be good to look for a trade above the EMA, but the problem is you wouldn't want to enter right into this trend line here. And this failed second entry, you can see first entry short, second entry short, failure. It's not good for a couple reasons. One, it's right into that trend line, but you also already have 2 legs up at that point. So let me just draw this out really quick. Let me just get that drawn out. So you already have 2 legs up. As soon as that measured move was met to the tick, it rushed back below the EMA. Look, failed second entries, they're not good if you already have a measured move met. You want to see a push up and then a 2-legged break from that move. That's an ideal failed second entry. This is just a 2-legged move up with a sharp reaction at the measured move. So there's really no reason to go long there. And once again, of course, that trend line being there as well. So nothing to take. We just push on out here, kind of just moving up on this thin channel here. It's getting very choppy. It's not very clear. But we do have a strong push out here. We overshoot this channel and retest the high here. And so this is the overnight high. We bounce right off of it. Of course the wicks go through, but those bodies match up perfectly. Very strong reaction, 2 legs down. Now, remember this trend line here. As we get a break of this trend line, we can look to extend it to see if it could reconfirm. Price has not come back to it. But after that overshoot and, of course, test of the overnight high, we have 2 strong legs down, but this measured move is still in play. But then here, even though the measured move isn't met, we have a strong pushback above, this bar closing on its high, and then a hold back above with no closes back below. So this is a small attempt to reach that measured move. It's pretty small picture, but, given how strong the push-up was after that 2-legged move, and we're expecting a new high for this uptrend break, and of course, on a small picture, it is still that second attempt higher there, and it is a pretty small trade, but it's a no-fill because that overnight high, not because of the overnight high, sorry, because of this range high right here, which after we pushed out of it, we reconfirmed it right here on that lower high after that overnight high bounce. So I wouldn't want to enter right into that. And notice how, say you did try to enter with a stop order here, it would bounce right off your target because, it of course pushes on through here. But the point is, you don't want to just assume that it's going to get through that level here because it is a resistance level. You don't just want to assume it's going to get through. And so anyway, that's why I kept it there, or I kept the limit order there, but it just did not get filled. It just didn't come back. And so anyway, we push on up here. Now this uptrend has a break, new high, fitting with this, upward slant that we have. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope it helped out in some way. And so from here, actually before I'm done, so from here, this uptrend has a new high. It's considered played out. We're at the overnight high. We're also breaking out of this range high right here. So we can expect a fade down. And considering the uptrend's played out, it's great to look for a short because if we fade down, of course, we would be looking for a short because we're fading a high. And so ideally from here, we would just push into a failed second entry. I'll kind of I'll kind of draw something out. This would be most ideal here, you know, something a little like this. So, you know, a failed second entry, retesting this high, that would be great. You know, great place to look for a short. But anyway, once again, say you get like a bigger one, like it pushes down further and you get a larger entry. You do want to be cautious of this trend line here, because even though it had broke right here, it's still consistently having higher lows throughout the day. So there is a bullish slant. You don't want to enter right into that. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope it helped out in some way, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.